Hey everybody, Laura St. John here. If you are watching this video, it is because you are ready to bring ForeverPak to market in your community, in the world, however far you want to take it, and you're ready to take action steps. That is what this video is about. So the precursors, or before you've watched this video, there is a welcome call that welcomes you into this entire ForeverPak community and helps you get started on all the basics. There is a compensation plan video to show you what's possible alongside an entire Freedom Day call where you can truly outline in a Freedom Day call planner worksheet, like what a Freedom Day really means to you when you have an unlimited potential of income. What does that potentially mean to you? And then an Art of Connecting video, which was the last module, where it's really just what are the words as you want to really be congruent and connect with people from your heart. This next step is to take it into momentum and into action, where you are really making your list and bringing ForeverPak to market in a way that's comfortable for you. So let's get started on some action items that would be really a 1-2 punch of, okay, I've got my list, I now know what to say, what do I now do? So I'm gonna walk you through those steps right now. And it's really about creating a plan, because then when you're sitting down Sunday to Saturday or whichever days that are actually part of your plan, what are the days I'm even available to, put the pedal to the metal and do this thing, then you're ready to go with, do I have 15 minutes here? Do I have an hour there? Do I have 2 hours here? So if you're ready to bring ForeverPak to market, then you're in the right spot. And it is all about these action steps to now go into action to create this plan. So let's do it. Okay, how much do you want your Freedom Day? That is really the first question, because your action should always be congruent on a scale of 1 to 10 with your desire, okay? If you are a 10 out of 10, I want to work towards my Freedom Day. I see that these products are incredible. I see the results. I've seen the science. I have a belief that is through the roof. I'm ready to roll. What do I do? And I want to get to my Freedom Day. I see that there's like a process to this. I'm ready to roll up my sleeves. I want to get to work. Okay, I totally can relate to you. Scale, just really rate yourself on that scale of 1 to 10. If you're a 10, then let's just keep going. Because if you're not a 10, then you're really a 5 or 6. Your effort is going to match how badly do you truly want this, right? So the first market when you're starting to create your list is really so simple. It's to identify the people that were just like the old you. Okay, we're gonna broaden this lens and I'm gonna stretch it out for you so you can make lists of hundreds of people. But when you're like, what do I begin with? Where do I start? Just start with the old you. What goals were at the top of that old person list? The old you from 4 days ago, maybe when you just said yes to ForeverPak, 4 months ago, whenever that was. Maybe it was 4 years ago and you're like ready to roll up my sleeves and do this thing. Well, recognize that there was an old you who made the choice to get started, right? We've already pat that person on the back, but now we're gonna go find those people. Where are those people? But first identify the old you and what was at the top of your list, okay? Because those old yous exist everywhere. So for me, for example, it was a stressed out mom, wanting to shake the baby weight, always feeling, stressed against time, a little bit snippy, not happy in my body, all that. I found that person saying, oh, I can speak to that person. I know how you feel. I totally felt the same way. I found this incredible ForeverPak thing that rocked my world, right? So where do you see the old you? Where is, for example, where is that mom? Okay, well, she's at the post office. She's at the grocery store. She's at school pickup. What about you? Is it a CEO boss who is just sitting and drinking coffee all day and not really stopping to eat because they're sucked into work? Okay, well, maybe that was you. Well, where do those people exist? They're everywhere, right? So they're everywhere. So it's so important to identify the old you with this expectation that there's hundreds of you that exist still today, and it's up to us to find them now in a physical space and an online space. This is what starts to build your very simple initial list before you even potentially broaden it, and you're like, I want to expand this further. So one of the first steps is stop, and on the planner worksheet, start writing down all the places that you can identify with the old you, the characteristics of the old you, and where those people exist physically around you in a community and online, right? Because people do this business, whether you're living on a farm, whether you're in a rural community, or you're in a city. This is possible anywhere because now we've got online and we've got in person. Start there and recognize and jot the names down of people and relationships of people that you already know that are just like you. It's going to be so easy for you to talk to those people and first send those messages saying, listen, you know, I started this incredible thing, ForeverPak, and I totally know how you feel. I felt the same way. I really think this would be of value to you. Take a look, you know, and then you're sending that ForeverPak.com with a really specific reason of talking to that initial audience. Okay, but that doesn't stop there. That what we really helped you identify already in the Freedom Day call that really helped me personally also broaden my lens as I started to really do this is, what's the value that I see myself bringing Isagenix to others? Okay, what is your value that you see that you can bring Isagenix to other people beyond just maybe that first reason of why you started? So let me give you an example. If you first started for weight loss, you may have just seen, like me, moms that also wanted to lose weight post-baby, but then the lens broadened when you're like, oh, I can help anyone that wants to lose weight. Okay, then then you can go through your phone and you're like, oh, I can hear people, I can talk to people because I was like that, but I don't have to just talk to moms. Or, hey, I was exhausted all day, running my own company, not eating all day. And it's not just other CEO bosses that I can talk to. I can talk to any worker who's, getting sucked into work all day and, not putting an emphasis on their nutrition. So you start to broaden your lens and you start to then see those people. So where are those people? Who are they? And make it a goal of yours to, in order to grow this business, to grow your target market, to start with the niche, because it's so easy for you to start there. But it's so important for you. What I like to say is put on the bigger glasses, start to broaden that lens saying, oh, it's anyone that had XYZ issue like me. Okay, and then you start to broaden it because, for me, for example, sharing it with my husband who didn't need to lose weight. It was all athletic performance. So suddenly it was like, oh, I can help anyone that's an athlete, not just a guy, but a girl or, an older person, a younger person. I can help any athlete. So it's so important that you start to really broaden your lens, because otherwise, if you sit there and say, I don't know who to talk to. I don't know how, well, the how we've already covered in the art of connecting, but I don't know where to make my list. Where can I find those rocks to turn over? If I just need to turn over, 1,000 rocks, where are those 1,000 people? And it's up to you to say, I want to put on a lens so I can see that market. So that is such an important thing. When you hone in from your heart of, this is the value I can now bring to anyone who wants to lose weight, anyone who's an athlete, anyone wants to age more youthfully, right? Like then when you start to see and you start to hear them everywhere, you start to identify them, you start to, see them on your social media, you start to go through your phone and you're like, oh yeah, him, oh yeah, her, oh yeah, I haven't talked to that person in 2 years. And your list really magically expands. Another thing that I absolutely love that Isagenix gives us is that memory jogger form. Okay, so if you print the who do you know list from Isagenix, start with people like you, right? As you start to, they give you all the lines so you can start writing the names down. Add people from your broader lens list, but now go further to make a bigger list using the memory jogger. It's beautiful because what the memory jogger will start to do is it starts to give you who do you know that has these characteristics, like who is health conscious, who's entrepreneurial, like who's self-motivated, who's enthusiastic. And again, it's going to broaden your lens. Okay, they do a beautiful job helping you just broaden that lens. How can you add more people and more people and more people to your list, right? Then we'll get into the how-to of what do I do with that? What do I do with that? Okay, and then who do you know who is, a personal trainer or, a police officer, a massage therapist, and the who do you know like memory jogger is awesome. And who do you see weekly? You know, where are you going on an every day or every week, you know, venture? Do you go to a gym? Do you go to the grocery store? Do you see like a common group of people as you travel around? Do you have specific meetings or meetups that you go to? And if not, where can you get out more, which is going to be part of the plan. Okay, so this part, first part here that I'm going through, is just helping you recognize that if you're sitting there saying, I'm stuck, I don't know who to talk to, this is all about how to make that list. Start with the old you, broaden the list, start thinking outside the box, you know, broaden it some more, and then now use the memory jogger, because your list is everything. And all these names that you're writing down, it's just incredible. When you start to put that energy out there, you know, it might not be Joe, the massage therapist whose name you wrote down, but then, you know, 2 days from now, because you wrote down Joe's name, a massage therapist is going to meet you at the supermarket or somewhere else. And you're getting more intentional about expanding your market. Writing down people's names, getting intentional about, I do want to attract someone who, you know, is a gym owner or massage therapist, or who is entrepreneurial, or who is enthusiastic. And just the art of writing it down is putting out the good energy that's going to come back to you, whether it's that person or not. I 100% believe in that. So the next step is to really broaden your lens. And this is where all of us can get behind the mission of Isagenix and its incredible founders, is that Isagenix is about solutions-based offerings for all of these segments: healthy aging, right? Financial freedom, athletic performance, weight wellness. Are you kidding me? There's so many people that you can help in terms of even just weight loss, people who want to lose 5 to 10 pounds or 100 pounds, you know, healthy aging, all the telomere science and isogenesis, financial freedom, relief from stress, which has stress chronically appears in our physical body. So we're really helping people in so many ways. And then of course, athletic performance. The more you get in touch with the mission of Isagenix at a core level and start to say, this isn't just about my story and the people just like me that I can help, although I can start there really comfortably. I can also broaden my lens and now help any of these market segments. I can really hone in on the mission of Isagenix to make the healthiest people on the planet, right? We're working so hard, locking arms as associates, as a company, so we can help build and make the people who want to become healthier, healthier. And that's financial health and physical health. It's emotional health, it's mental health, it's all these areas of health that are making up a healthy person. And when you can stand behind that mission, that is the spirit of Isagenix, that runs through you. And then you start to see the market even broader, saying, I can help anyone that eats, that breathes, and that has cells, because everyone's aging, right? Every single person's aging from the moment we're born. So then the lens really gets broad, saying I can talk to anybody. But if you're not ready, being like, I don't know how to talk to anybody, right? Rewatch The Art of Connecting. But this is an important step. Then you need to start and do these steps, because it's important to maybe start a little smaller, saying, well, how about me? Where did I get started? How about broadening my lens? And then this, the biggest lens of all. And the best thing that you can do to broaden your lens is get in touch with Isagenix communities. Go to Isagenix events, because I know, very personally, anyone who goes to an Isagenix event and then starts to see and believe and hear the stories over and over and over again from every walk of life, all different people, of how Isagenix helped them, you start to see these people everywhere. So this is an important part of that step, to make sure you go to isagenixevents.com and get to a big event, because when you get behind the true mission, you're making your list is not going to be hard, okay? Because you're going to start to see, I could truly help anyone. Okay, now with that, what do you then do? Okay, you now need to have a plan. That is the most important part. And your plan has to match your commitment to yourself. Okay, your desire for your Freedom Day, it's one thing that you might want to reach it, but how committed are you to getting there? Because it's really, how badly do you want it? And then, are you willing to commit, or are you going to quit on yourself? Because everything that we've seen is, if you don't quit on yourself, this thing will work. You will unlock whatever you need to unlock. So on a scale of 1 to 10, You need to rate yourself and match your commitment level. How committed can I be for the next 30 days? Okay, well, if you're like, nope, too busy, you're going to start to make excuses if you truly, if it's not a 10 out of a 10. When it's a 10 out of 10 that your commitment matches your desire and your like really burning desire to get to a freedom day, you don't hear the excuses anymore. You say, I have all this going on, and instead of it being a but, it's going to be so, and you switch your but to a so. So I'm still going to like handle it, be a boss, and get to this too. You're going to find the time to do this too. And again, whether it's 15-minute increments, 1-hour increments, staying up later, getting up earlier, carving the time, this is now your true, take the pulse on yourself, on your commitment level. Because if you're committed, there is no quitting on yourself. Okay, make that absolutely a commitment to yourself, because it's really to yourself that you're going to make this work. And you get in touch with your why, which I'll get to in a moment. But your plan is everything. So make commitments and align them to a schedule. Once you know your schedule, where you're like, here's my weekly workflow: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Design right now your commitments to your weekly schedule. Print out a month planner. I mean, every month, besides Google Calendar, I take a look at printing out even on a paper form sometimes, having it in front of me. What events are we going to drive people to? What conversation, how many conversations am I willing to have? Okay, select where you're the most comfortable, which I'll get to in just a second, but it all starts with a plan, because otherwise you're going to go into the week being like, what do I do now? What do I do now? What do I do now? So start by saying, before I even figure out what I'm going to do right now, when am I going to do it? Where am I going to carve out, based on my commitment level? If I'm a 10 out of 10 and I believe in my Freedom Day 10 out of 10, then where am I going to carve out my space, during the 7-day week? Is it a 7-day week? Is it a 4-day week? What is it for you? Are you going to crush it on 4 hours on one specific day? Are you going to it has to work for you, or you're not going to make it work. So make your plan work for you, but you have to have a plan. So that's step number 1. Carve the space for yourself, as much space as you can. The more space you have, the more connections and reach outs that you can do with the people that are on your list. Okay. And then select your presentation style, because it's one thing to send out a message, connect with someone like the Art of Connecting, and send ForeverPak.com to them. But this is where the art of follow-up will start to become the real deal magic on what am I inviting people to this week? Okay, I've got the list. I've introduced them to ForeverPak. I've, crafted a message, but now what's the next step, Laura? Like, I get that a lot. The next step is genius. You're inviting them to something. You're inviting them to something. On a Sunday or Monday, invite them to the Monday night presentation, saying, hey, I know I shared that message with you last week. I really think that's going to be of value to you. You're going to dig this content. Okay, put it in your words. That would be my words. You're going to dig this content. You're going to love it. Like, I'm inviting you to a special virtual presentation. It's Monday night, 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. Are you available then? Question mark. Like, I got it right down to the nitty gritty with people. I think I would love to invite you to blank. Are you available? Question mark. So the next thing is the invitation to those people on your list. And what you have to recognize is that although you might like a certain style of presenting, there's really just only a few. You're either going to drive people to a one-on-one, which could become a 3-way, right? You can always weave in a leader, but it's either going to be a one-on-one or a group presentation. And then it's going to either always be virtual, like over the phone or on a Zoom, or it's going to be in person. So let's take a look at those 2 things. Okay, let's just take a look at those 2 things for a moment, because this is the plan. This is where you're like, I've got the list. I sent ForeverPak. Now what? And I'm telling you, this is the next step. And it is so simple. It is saying, okay, I sent you that list, I sent you that website. I would love to meet with you. Are you available for coffee this week? Okay, so if you might find that you love to meet with people one-on-one. You might love the soft attention that you can give a person one-on-one or face-to-face, belly-to-belly, looking at them and helping them, hearing them, knowing that this is a solution for them. That might not be an option for you. If you're working full-time, you're like, Laura, I can't do that. I don't have time to meet with people one-on-one, or I don't prefer to drive to go meet someone, or I live on a farm. I can't go meet someone very easily. Well, then you might say, let's hop on a phone call. Either way, you have to drive it to the next step. And this is where your plan really starts to turn into action, where you're saying, I just sent them the thing. What do I do next? And it's, you've got to get them to the next step. So the next step is either one-on-one call, right, that you can weave a leader in, or one-on-one meeting. And this is where I'm saying, select how you're the most comfortable presenting information, because many of you might love the one-on-one. Okay, and then again, if you're not super comfortable, weave in your leader to say, and I'm bringing in so-and-so who can help answer any of your questions because they've been doing this a while. That's the genius behind three-way calls. So you have to identify your style. Do you love one-on-ones or do you love group presentations? You know, as you step into your leadership, you'll be leading the group presentations, whether that's a home party, whether that's a presentation at a cafe or an event space, or a virtual presentation saying, let's hop on a Zoom call. No matter what, it's you are inviting them to the next thing that matches your style, but you also have to think about your audience. This is so, so, so important, because some people might, you know, love to meet with people belly and belly, but let's just say it's a mom who's in another state and they just had a baby and they're busy. Well, then inviting to a group presentation obviously is not happening if it's down the street from you. But a virtual presentation or a one-on-one Zoom that you could even bring on a leader is so, so important. So what is the next step? The next step is always the first follow-up message saying, you know, I would love to have you taken a look at that ForeverPak. I would love to invite you to this. You know, and then also the assumption that they may have seen it and they're ready to order. Whenever you're ready to pull the trigger, this is the information I'm going to need from you. Let's hop on a call. And with the assumption that it's always a yes. So those would be my, you know, biggest tips in terms of select how you're most comfortable, knowing that what is most comfortable for you, it might not be what's the easiest for your target market. So if you're not getting response because you keep inviting one person to a virtual presentation and they're never coming on, then perhaps they love a one-on-one call or a one-on-one meeting if you're in the same vicinity. You have to recognize that there's always going to be different styles of preferences, but that it's always the next step, getting people to that. And the ForeverPak.com has the presentation in 22 minutes at all times, right? So they can watch the presentation. They might be ready. Don't discount that. They might just be ready to go, being like, okay, where do I sign up? Then you get on that one-on-one call. That is the next step. So whether that one-on-one call is to continue the conversation or to just grab the enrollment, it's so, so importantly the next step. Okay, so think about what you're inviting people to, and think about also how you're expanding your list. Setting a goal. This is so integral. In the next 30 days, how many conversations do you plan on having? And set that measurable target for yourself, because you can't determine right now, you can't force people to say yes or no, but you can always determine your action. So how many conversations are you willing to have in the next 30 days is a very important question. You know, is that 20? Is that 50? Is that 100? You know, think about if you were having at least 3 a day times 7 days, that's over 20 conversations a week, 80 something in a month. You know, that is a very standard. But if you're ready to go fast, you might be having 100 conversations like bam, right off the bat, because you're a 10 out of 10 with your Freedom Day. You're a 10 out of 10 with your commitment. You have the time to roll up your sleeves and dive right in. So don't like hold back when you're ready to go. But the question is, you know, you can't control the outcome of someone else saying yes or no. You can influence, you can share, you can educate, you can tell them why you think it's amazing, but you absolutely can say at the end of the day, I'm not going to focus on what I can't control. I can't control if someone judges me. I can't control if they say no. I can't control if they say yes. I can control my commitment to the number of conversations I'm going to, regardless of what they say, have this month. And that is something that I think you should absolutely write down, okay? Because you're going to, in 30 days, recognize as you get better, more fluid at the art of connecting, it may take you 1 in 20 conversations. Look at other people's metrics. Don't look left and right at what other people are doing, what their backgrounds are. This is about you committing to you and your action plans, your action steps, and not quitting on yourself. So in the next 30 days, ask yourself right now, how many conversations am I willing to have? You know, what things are you willing to do to spark those conversations? You know, expand your list. Go back to that original list, but say, you know what, if I've exhausted this list, I've flipped over all these rocks, I am going to continue to re-invite them to different modalities. You know, the Monday night virtual presentation. Hey, I'm ready now to do a group presentation, or I'm going to collaborate with a leader who is flying in to do a presentation, or I'm going to collaborate with another leader to do a presentation. Whatever it is, it's you're driving them to the next thing, inviting them to the next thing, whether that be the one-on-one or group presentation. But what are you doing in these 30 days to expand your list? So it's not just following up on the first set of lists constantly. You need to be adding to that list. So not only are you setting a goal and committing to how many conversations, but it's not just follow-up. It's new conversations, new blood that you're bringing in. So expand your list by saying, what am I doing virtually to, you know, engage in more conversations, to engage in more relationship building, locally, in meetups, in organizations. You know, besides online, you know, are you visiting local businesses? Can you pound the pavement, printing out postcards, you know, and bringing them down the street, down your street in your town, saying, I'm hosting a presentation, you know, it's online, or hey, I'm hosting a presentation, it's in person. Here's a postcard. I'd love to invite you and your team. It's Thursday at this time. Like, you've got to pound the pavement. If you have pavement to pound in your local market, make something and invite people to it. Okay, and again, if you're not comfortable doing that yet, that's when you reach up and do the leader, bring in the leader. But have the courage to start. Everyone had to start somewhere. Have the courage, whether it's opening up your home and inviting your people in, or opening up, you know, at a room in a cafe in town. But these are just some ideas, you know, to expand your list besides local meetups and online groups, and visiting local businesses, pounding the pavement. Are there events in your town? You know, when I first started, I would go to an art show and set up a booth. I would go to a home show. I would go to a health and fitness expo. I would do anything. I would go into local businesses and set up a table, you know, and display. You know, now you could display ForeverPak. So simple, so easy. You know, bring your little telomeres, bring the display, and have so much fun with this. Drop off flyers to local places. Can you hang flyers? You know, this takes time, but it doesn't cost a lot. And I love that energy. You know, any business, it's like, what are you doing to market yourself in your community? Online, in person. Online, in person. If you're hosting a local event, you know, do you have local Facebook groups that you can post it in? Local next door kinds of apps that you can say, hey, I'm having this meeting. It's open to the public, okay? Or even calling places. It's up to you. You know, some people are very comfortable calling the chiropractor office, the massage therapist, saying, listen, you know, I'm hosting this event. I think you're gonna love the content. It's very in line with your offerings. I think we have a lot of synergies. I would love to invite you personally to be one of my guests there. Guys, this is about you saying, I have a goal. I have a dream of a freedom day. What am I truly doing to keep myself busy in the next 30 days, bringing in new blood while I'm following up with the old people and inviting them to all different things, you know, the one-on-ones and the group meetings and the virtual meetings. And what am I doing so I'm not sitting back and blaming the weather or this person, or no, now this person didn't go through and this person's not moving fast enough. This is like you going into momentous action on your goals, your dreams, your freedom day. So I get super pumped about this because this grows any business, right? What are the local synergies that you're having if you're hosting local events? What are online synergies that you're having to reach out and be part of more online communities? What are you doing in the actual do? And then how are you, it's so easy when you have something you can invite them to. You know, if it's a virtual presentation, that's so awesome. You could be like, I want to personally invite you to this thing I'm doing Saturday morning. I think you'd really love it. I think it can add a lot of value to what you're already doing. Are you able to chit chat about it for 10 minutes before, you know, the presentation? I would love to hear more about what you're doing and see how it aligns to, you know, what your goals. It looks like you're doing amazing things. So be out there in terms of what am I doing in terms of growing my business, and am I just sitting back and, you know, scratching off the same names over and over again? Or am I adding proactively, not reactively, proactively new blood in my organization at all times in a really big way? Okay. And every person counts. You know, if you set up an event and there's only one person or two people that come, then give them your incredible energy. That one or two person can lead to tons of people, right? Because of that energy that you have. Or maybe it is, you know, 20 people or more, 50 people. I've had events at 0 people, 1 person has showed up, 70 people once showed up. Are you kidding me? Like, it's so exciting when you really get into that level of action. Okay, action. Okay, now the next step is you start to make a goal of, I have this list. I'm going to be inviting them to different things this week or this month. Like, let me lay out my month. And I say at minimum, you know, a virtual meeting every other week and an in-person meeting every other week. If you want to hit this hard, virtual meeting and in-person meeting every single week. You know, also knowing that the Monday night call is happening. How fast you want to go is literally dependent on how many calls are you doing, how many one-on-ones, and how many meetings are you driving them to? A Zoom meeting, a group meeting, a virtual meeting. Like, these are all meetings. I hope you hear me on that, because that was eye-opening for me, being like, that's all I have to do. I've just got to drive them to the next step until they're ready to enroll. And don't think, again, they might be ready to enroll before going to a meeting. Still invite them to the meeting saying, I just got your enrollment. I'm so glad you watched ForeverPak.com. That's super awesome. You know, I'd love to invite you to this meeting, because it's only going to help you to hear this information again about what you're embarking on. This is so exciting. So you're still inviting all your current people to what's happening and invite them to bring their people. Like, this is incredible synergy that you're building your organization. You are not just sitting here selling products and crossing people off the list. You are building an organization of people who are setting up calls and setting up meetings, and you're stepping into your leadership, becoming the presenter or bringing in the leader to present when you're not there yet. But get there, right? That is the goal. Get there by watching all of these tools in the ForeverPak trainings. Action. Okay, what are you doing to execute your plan throughout your timeline? For me, personally, I'm just gonna share with you one of the things that I love, which is laying out my calendar. I love like tasks, I love checking things off, and I love like going into the week Sunday, Monday, being like the art of promoting. What is going on this week? What am I promoting people to? So if it's a Monday night call, first, I'm going to invite them to the Monday night call. If it's a Thursday in-person presentation, well, I'm inviting anyone in my local market to the Thursday in-person presentation, right? So you start to become multifaceted, knowing that, okay, I've got this virtual thing going on. That might be really easy for people not in my local market, for people who are super duper busy. It happens every Monday. It's phenomenal. Let's do it. Okay, but if you're launching into in-person presentations, okay, well, Sunday and Monday are like my days of my week is beginning. What's going on this week? So I'm inviting the people to it. And then the action steps. What do I need to do to execute this plan? Which is, okay, are the postcards printed? Do they need a confirmation call? So what I do is Sunday and Monday, it's like the art of promotion. It is who am I inviting to what? Who am I inviting to what this week? And what do I have on my calendar so I know 2-3 weeks from now, as you start to step into leadership and potentially even travel to other markets, you know, are they inviting their people? Are they doing save the dates? This is happening in this city or that city, you know, a bigger event that you may have on your calendar. But do it in these 30-day increments. It's so simple. And then if you do have something going on in your local market, what do you need to do to execute so you're not last minute? Like on Thursday, trying to print out stuff for Thursday, you know, that you are Sunday, Monday saying art of promotion. Like that, what am I inviting people to? I'm going to spend 2 solid days on invitations to people that are typically, for me, just text messages. Hey, I want to invite you to this thing. Here's the image. Like, I'd love for you to come. Hey, you're local. This is going on Thursday. Hey, you're not local to me. This is a virtual event going on Monday night. I think you're going to love it. You know, and it's a regroup with the old people that you're following up with, but to the new people, hey, it was so awesome to meet you last night. I would love to invite you to this event. And again, if they're local, invite them to local. If they're not local, invite them to a virtual. That's as simple as it gets. But what do you need to do to execute and map out your week? So Sunday, Monday is the art of connection. Now, do you need to print out anything? Do you need to get anything together for as the week progresses? Get that stuff together so you feel ready. Okay, and then during your week, you'll start to see, did people, you know, did they come to the Monday night presentation? Well, Tuesday and Wednesday then should be all art of follow-up, following up with those people. You know, were you able to watch it? If not, here's the link. And I have a recording ready to go, right? We've got the packaged full presentation of the ForeverPak presentation in a YouTube now, ready to share. So you say, I don't know whether you were able to, question mark, were you able to watch last night? You know, await the response. And then if they weren't, here's the recording, another beautiful way that's gonna gently, or, you know, ready to enroll. Here's the enrollment form. And so the week progresses where you're always moving people forward, inviting to the next thing, sharing the link, following up, ready to enroll. You know, the magic question, are you ready? Are you ready to get started? Do you have all the information that you need? And then Thursday and Friday, literally like collecting enrollments, setting up welcome calls, dumping them into this whole ForeverPak system. So I love to orchestrate my week like that, thinking Sunday, Monday, preparation. What did I do great last week? What can I do even better this week? What did I do great last week? What do I want to improve on now? And, you know, it's usually about getting more proactive, inviting more people. Who are my new blood that are coming in this week that I can invite to on Sunday and Monday to the Monday night virtual? If they missed Monday night virtual, do I want to set up a private virtual event with someone who's budding? That's an amazing thing, you know, that I've learned from Dave MacArthur. It's like, well, let's just set up a private Zoom and I'll go through the content with you and your couple people, right? Or that could be done in a 3-way. Just don't stop the momentum. Just keep the momentum going and ask yourself, what do I need to do to execute this plan? And give yourself that timeline. And when I mean timeline, it's not just like, oh, I want to enroll, you know, a few people this week. It is timeline like, what am I doing throughout this week? And that's the flow that I'm giving you right now. Keep it fun. Okay, as soon as this gets too rigid, like it's not always just going to be Sunday, Monday. That's awesome that you know that the Monday night presentation is happening. But it's not always just going to be this rigid where it's like Sunday, Monday is this, and Tuesday, Wednesday, that. Like be loose and have fun, because what if someone just is so ready that they've talked to you, they're ready to go, chocolate vanilla, like, well, I want to order it. And then they watch ForeverPak.com afterwards. Okay, if they're ready to order, you do not want to stop the step of being like, well, first you need to watch ForeverPak.com and let that energy fizzle when they're like, I'm ready to order. Like, I'm just so convinced by you and your belief and your certainty that this thing can help me. I'm ready to order. Where do I order? So you still can do the steps, but you don't have to be so rigid. Okay, so the point is the steps still exist, but when someone's ready to go, they're ready to go. Take the enrollment and then say, listen, you just ordered this box. This is incredible science. Watch ForeverPak.com and let's set up a welcome call. Now you can even send them the welcome call because it's packaged. It's so simple. But just continue to follow the system. But when someone's ready to go, don't stop them. Don't stop momentum when the train's rolling ahead, okay? And a lot of people sometimes get stuck in the rigidity of, I have to check off this box before this box, before this box, before this box. No, just make sure all the boxes get checked, because everyone's gonna need a welcome call. Everyone's gonna need a Freedom Day call as they're open to a possibility, saying, yeah, I'd totally be, you know, willing to be an inspiration to others. I'd totally tell people what I'm doing, right? As soon as they're open, they're ready for compensation plan, they're ready for Freedom Day call. So these steps will always unfold. And I want you to think about these steps exist, the system exists. It's gonna shake out leaders right from the system, but it's going to work when you're not trying to soak, over control, and micromanage every single piece. and you just keep it fun. When you're in fun and when you're in joy and when you're loving it, that oozes, okay? So start with the people that make a match to the value you're looking to bring, and have the courage to try new things. Like, don't just get stuck on the one-on-one, I want to talk to you over the phone, and you have to watch this video first. Be like, I can talk to you on the phone, and I could totally talk to you about it. Then you can watch the video. Like I'm saying, the steps are here, the system's all here. They will do all these steps. So just work with your people and have the courage to be like, I believe in this. I believe in the ForeverPak movement. I believe in these products. I believe it can work for you. I believe that this is like meant to be. And if this is a match for you, you're gonna love me. If it's not, and you're not desiring change in your life, then so be it. Let me know when you're ready, because I'm not looking to drag anyone. I'm not looking to bring on anyone that's not a magnetic match, who doesn't get this right now, because I get it so big. I'm ready to find all the rocks and flip over all the people that are ready, right, to join me. And that's the energy of fun, being like, who's ready? Who wants change in their life? There's so many people. And on the days that are hard, tap into your why. This is something that's so Isagenix, right? Is it family? Is it fun? Is it freedom? What is driving you to that freedom day? And can you express it in even just a couple of words to yourself? Like, I am working towards family, fun, and freedom. And it's what I'm all about. And before any call, before any conversation, you know what drives you internally at your core. And Isagenix, when you find the congruency in your core with Isagenix, and you see the biggest mission on the planet, right, to be the largest health and wellness company in the world, and you can get behind that with your why, with your purpose, you can tap into that and never, ever quit on yourself. So get in touch with your why, because on the days that you're not feeling it, or the days that you're like, what do I post about? You're always going to be posting about yourself, your purpose. And it's just like, this is the lifestyle. This is the freedom day. This is why you're working and rolling your sleeves up and doing everything I'm talking about today, having an execution plan, rolling into presentations, having the courage to do more, to speak up, to say more. All of it trickles down to what 3 words, if someone were to describe me, you know, and of a purpose that I'm working towards. So I really want you guys to think about that. Tap into support. There's no one better than this Isagenix community to be the pillow of support, to lift you and push you like to exponential levels on the days that you're feeling it, and to help pull you up on the days that you're not feeling it. They have incredible leadership calls. You know, have check-ins with your mentors. You know, Facebook groups. We have so many listed now on the back end of ForeverPak.com that are incredible resources of people, one team looking to support you. Online trainings. There's so many things that exist, but the power is in the do. Don't get sucked into what I call the training. The best training is the doing. Isagenix events. I've already covered this. Get yourself to an event. Friends and family, who can support you locally? Okay, who is really there to have your back? And local Isagenix events, local Isagenix community, books, podcasts. There's so many incredible resources that you can tap into, because this is about you being a 10 out of 10, to commit to your plan, to be unstoppable, to be unwavering, to do this in 30-day doses and go for it. You want to go fast? Go fast. You want to go, 5 out of 10, go 5 out of 10. This is 100% about you, your desire, and your map to your freedom day. I am super, super duper excited that you guys can now print out planning worksheets. You can go through ForeverPak.com and see the welcome call. You can see the compensation plan. You can see the Freedom Day call. You can see the Art of Connecting. You can see this video. Now mush it into your calendar, right? Get the blocks of your calendar and your commitment level like zeroed in. Get the events on your calendar. What's virtual? Okay, every Monday night's virtual. What's virtual that you're gonna do in social media? What's virtual that you might bring a leader into this month? What is a group event that you're going to put together? How often are you going to do it? Are you gonna do it every single week, every other week, once a month? How often you go and how fast you go is 100% now in your hands. I love you guys. Everyone's capable of doing this. This is such an amazing movement to all be a part of and lock arms together with. Let's rock and roll this thing. And take a look at all the Leader in Training modules that exist on ForeverPak, like the Consultant Machine and all of these things that will help you build your belief from everything that we've learned from Dave MacArthur and Lenny and Alex and Jojo and everyone in this movement that has locked arms and say, let's bring this one team out into the community. There's so many incredible people that are bringing you such valuable information, and we just love and support you all. Have an awesome day. Now roll up your sleeves and get to work and put some stuff in your calendar right now. Bye, guys.